Everyone, my name is Justin, and today we're looking at the Broadway Limited in-scale SD40-2. More specifically, this is a release from the August 2021 production run. Now, I purchased this used from trains.com. Definitely had great experience with the shipping and got this pretty quickly. Packaging was pretty well made, so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So right off the bat, this locomotive is really beautiful. A lot of detail going on with it. It is pretty much on par with every other manufacturer, as 2025 and 2026 seem to be the year of the SD40-2, so this model is pretty hard to mess up, I would say, with the amount of manufacturers that are producing these. That being said, this model does feature certain details that other manufacturers do not include, such as handrails/grab irons on the nose and sunshades. My favorite part of this locomotive, of course, being that it is in the FEC Champion scheme. If you're an FEC rail fan like myself, FEC was recently purchased by Grupo Mexico, and they changed the paint scheme on all 24 of their ES44 locomotives to being the new Ferromex scheme, where it is now like a neon blue, dark blue, and gray. Whereas this is the old Flagler system sort of paint scheme where it's got the red, yellow, and the white trim between the layers. It's also got the black font. So very beautiful scheme, and Broadway has also modeled the FEC logo on the nose. It's got the 4 dashes. All in all, it's a very pretty scheme. I could talk about this for hours. And here's another quick glimpse of the locomotive from the front view, the short hood. And of course it has the ditch lights, the headlights, which is mounted above the nose, above the cab. There's the number boards, which do light up. Of course, we got our horn, which is mounted above the headlights. It's got some nice grabs. One thing I did notice, and of course the person I had purchased this locomotive from pointed out that the handrails are actually bent there. It's the same on the end. I believe those are fixable. But yeah, detail on the front, pretty good. It's got pretty consistent detailing with other SD40-2s. There's nothing road specific to this one. It does have the F there indicating the front of the locomotive. This one does have cab interior, which is very cool. It's hard to see in there, but it does have it. And there's a brief look at the back of the locomotive, which also has that grab right on the top around the fans. Or something I did notice is that the rear 3 are taller than the other 2. I believe this is prototypical for all SD40-2s, but I've never noticed it before, so just a little thing I had noticed. Now, something that I absolutely adore is, even though yes, this is in scale, it just feels way smaller than other locomotives I've handled before, such as the ES44. The majority of my fleet are bigger 6-axle locomotives, so this is about the smallest locomotive I have in the 6-axle range, so definitely feels like very toy-like with how tiny it is. So far, I'm very impressed with the detail and quality of this locomotive. Let's go ahead and put this on the layout and see what it sounds like. Alright, so we're at the layout. The first thing I've noticed is upon placing the locomotive on the track, the number boards are immediately illuminated. So I'm going to have to read my manual and see if there's a way to configure that. But if I go ahead and press F6, this should start up. So right off the bat, it sounds really good. Actually pretty crisp, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty impressed with it so far. Let's go ahead and turn the headlight on to F0. Pretty bright. After the ditch lights. There you go. Now the seller did say that there were issues with one of the ditch lights, however I'm not seeing that issue here, so looks good to me. Let's go the horn, which is F1. Sounds pretty good. Let's go the horn, F2. And the ditch lights flash. And looks like the horn does not activate the bell. So I think that's standard for other Broadway locomotives. Alright, so I do want to give it just a tiny bit of juice. So speed step 1, brakes come off, it's moving. I've not heard the acceleration noise yet, so I'm going to give it a little more noise, a little more speed. And yeah, there it goes. So at speed step 4, you can hear the engine working harder as it notches up. Slow it down. Hopper in reverse. And my switch. Let's see how slow I can get this. So that is speed step 1. That's about as slow as it'll go. It's definitely not a crawler like scale trains. Although I've heard other people report that the scale trains SD40-2s are slightly jerky, and I am not experiencing any jerkiness with this locomotive, so I would say the ride quality is probably about equal or better in this one. So let's scoot my discharge hoppers back. 3 is our coupler, so I'll activate that. What is very nice is that the couplers are microtrains compatible, so this locomotive out of the box is pretty much good for any coupler you have, minus horn hook or the impossible coupler. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit of juice. There it goes. It's accelerating now. Third spot, I guess. Yeah, so far, pretty impressed with the locomotive. I think it'll work great with my ES44. No real complaints, honestly. There's just a few little cosmetic areas where the locomotive has been damaged, probably due to handling. Nothing to complain about though, and I do quite like the Paragon 4 sound file. I don't know if it's exactly accurate for the horn type that the Florida East Coast uses, or the bell type, but for just what this locomotive is, I quite like it. It goes great with my microtrains FEC discharge hoppers, so yeah, I feel like a proper FEC modeler now. The paint scheme, of course, was very, very close with this other Broadway Limited locomotive. This is an ES44, wasn't obvious. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. I like it. Definitely gonna be the workhorse. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you're interested, definitely pick one up. I don't know how available these will be, as this is from 2021. It was a limited release, but if you were able to get one, I would definitely pick one up. I think it's great. Let's poke it. There it goes. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Might have more videos released soon. I don't know. I'm currently a full-time student and part-time worker, so my available time to make videos is pretty much limited. But yeah, if you enjoyed, thanks. Feel free to subscribe if you want. I'm not a super active YouTuber, so I cannot promise any consistent content uploads, but yeah, I appreciate your time. Stay safe. Happy railroading, everyone.